Hi guys, welcome to Secrets of the Synth, a new series on tips and tricks, and we're going to do it for the FA-06, for the VR-09, and for the gay SH-01. So if you have any of those animals, stay tuned, ring the bell and do the subscribe thing. One of the great things about the Roland FA-06 is that you can take just a simple idea, a simple melody, and you can turn it into a masterpiece. Consider a simple little tune like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Now imagine that, dear friends, to a driving rock beat with a good piece of bass and, in actual fact, some portamento and synthesizer tone, and we jazz it up a bit, and all of a sudden we have a very, very interesting tune that everybody is humming all over the place. Now here's another very simple melody that the children watch. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all day long. And there are many, many variations on it, but the children sit and watch it on the YouTube all day long. Number one, Roland has built into the instrument the feature that if you hold down the shift button and you press any of the other control surfaces, you get an instantly the screen goes to where you can set the parameters for that control. For example, if I hold down the shift button and I press my S1 button over here, I'm instantly where you set up the F1, so you can just quickly set that up. And when I'm done, I can press exit, and I'm back to my screen. Or I can hold down the shift button and I can wiggle a knob, and instantly I'm where you can set the knob. Or I can hold down the shift button and I can press loop, and instantly here I can set my looping on the song. So the Roland has it so designed that holding down the shift button and touching any of the others carries you instantly to the place where you can set that control. For example, if I hold down the shift button and I press one of the D-beam buttons, I instantly go there to where I can set my D-beam. So that's a quick feature to save a lot of menu diving. Tip number two, if you go to the various tones by pressing enter, and you have all these various tones up here, Roland makes a big thing of the tone category, and as you go across, if you have not given your particular tone that you've created a specific category, where do you find it in here? Where is it going to be? Well, it turns out that anything that you create is going to end up, unless you specify otherwise, it's going to end up in the no assign category. Right now, when you look at no assign category, you see that all we have in here is initialized tones for all the various, it's a whole thousands of them, because we start with the SNS and we come all the way down here. Look at how many tones we could possibly assign. Right, not many people do this, but when you're assigning your tones, look, you see, look, I have one in here, look, shepherd scale. I did not put that, and that's a PCMS tone. I created a shepherd scale patch, and because I did not actually explicitly assign it to a particular category, it ends up in the unassigned or no assigned. So I just discovered that because I would have been looking all over for my shepherd tone patch, and I would not have been able to find it anywhere. Normally you would think of the sequencer, turning on the sequencer as for recording 16 track at a time kind of thing, putting together complete songs and recording songs. And you can record into the sequencer, but the sequencer also has another function, and that function is being able to actually play in real time multiple splits and multiple parts. You can have layers and parts to your heart's content. But if you want to do that in real time on a stage and not actually be worried about recording a song, then you don't use the sequencer button at all. You come over here and you press the split and jewel button together, and you get that screen. And I have it here in pad mode, which is why all of these have gone to green. Now in pad mode, how do we deal with it? To get to the mode, pad mode quickly, just hold down the shift button and press pad utility, and you're in pad mode. And right now I have it set to keyboard switch, so that's why this one here is flashing, because I'm in keyboard switch. And when I exit, I can easily select any of my 16 parts here to play simultaneously. Now if I want layering, I play them across the entire keyboard, which is how it's set up right now. So let's just play 2 or 3 sounds together. If I have the 3 of those flashing and I play, hear it? You can get all sorts of arranger type functions here and get it to play in real-time performance mode. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, to have multiple splits and layers, we press the split and jewel together. The screen looks like this, and of course we can scroll down and the active part will be highlighted. We can go right away down using the arrow buttons. But the interesting thing about it is that if we come over here to where we have the keyboard, notice that a little window has opened up here. We want to zoom in on that so you can see it. Hopefully you can see it nice and clearly. A little window is going up there, and we have it in cyan and black saying C to G9 or whatever. So we have the entire range of the keyboard, and notice also that we have the KBD or keyboard switch there. So we can turn on as many parts as we want simultaneously, and that would be layering, having them play at all the same time. And if we want to have them split, we can divide up that keyboard into ranges, and then we would have the different parts playing on different parts of the keyboard. Right now all of the keyboards are set for C to G9, so if I was to turn them on, if I was to turn them all on, I would have layering. Well, right now the highlight is on the C, so if I hold down the shift and press any key on the keyboard, that will change to that key, and then I would just press the right arrow, which would move it to the upper part, and I would be able to hold down the shift button and press any key on the keyboard, and the range between those two would be made effective. Okay, I've split the range now, so I hold down the shift button and I press pad utility, which puts me in pad mode. Then I select my keyboard switch, which is 7, so I press 7, and notice as soon as I do that, all my keys are green. And if I turn on the 4 parts at the beginning, this will turn on any of the 16 parts. So I press 1, 2, 3, and 4, So my 4 parts are turned on. Notice my 4 parts are flashing. Notice that the first octave gets the full grand piano sound. The second octave up from the bottom gets the metal pad sound. The third octave now gets the pure sound, and the fourth octave gets the jazz organ sound. So now, although they're layered, they're all switched on, yet they're not playing simultaneously. So this is in fact a multiple split, so that I have like 4 splits. And the top octave is dead because I haven't assigned that. But if I turn on another switch group, so now what is happening there is that 5 is across the entire keyboard, 4 is across the 4th octave, 3 is across this octave, 2 is across that octave. So I can get any combination of layering and splitting across all 16 parts for live play out. And we're so delighted to have you here as we explore the wonders of our modern keyboards. Now, dear friends, I want to say to you that whether you buy Yamaha, Korg, Roland or whatever, the modern keyboards are incredibly complex. They have functions that are layered on top of other functions, shortcuts. Sometimes you push a key, you get something completely different. And learning the keyboard is a very time-consuming exercise in itself, mastering all the features of your synth and then using them in the creativity of constructing music. But I want to put in a plug for Roland, because even though it may seem a deep, steep learning curve to be able to master the features of your Roland, you'll find it so much more easier to do than with Yamaha or Korg. Take that from me. I have studied the books that come with Yamaha and Korg, and I'm well absolutely convinced that this Roland is the most intuitive and easy to use keyboard, and you will agree with me once you master these features for yourself. Thanks for watching, and see you again. I'm trying to make at least 2 videos a week to keep you on top of your Roland keyboards.